don't have to do anything. The scent of skin is strong enough. Huddle a little bit closer, babe. Let's see if I can warm you up. Oh, babe, snuggle, baby. Oh, babe, snuggle, baby.
Morning guys, it is a very rainy and cold Thursday morning, which I love. Honestly, this weather is my favorite. I'm going to be quite quick with this because I'm actually getting ready to go out and I have 20 minutes to do my makeup. But my day today is going to be full of a lot of admin. I'm going to be doing my nails and I have to drive really far for that, about 30 minutes away. And then I have to drive to Pretoria to the HPCSA because I need to get my independent practitioner forms handed in because I am officially finished with community service. It's crazy for me to say that because I've officially been, I think, how many days? 5 days unemployed, and I've been just, you know, rejuvenating myself, really taking the time to rest and recuperate because it is a new year and I've got many goals that I feel like I haven't been able to really focus on last year. And other than that, this year is a very weird one because I'm not obligated to work at a specific place for as long as I don't necessarily work in government. And when I say the word unemployed, it is the reality of South African doctors right now. It's so odd because I made a video about unemployment in South Africa 2 years ago as a second-year intern doctor, and now it's 2 years later, and in fact the situation is way more dire than it was back then. I think, like most of my colleagues, we've done so many courses. I can't even tell you how much I've spent on courses last year. Yeah, I think I did like 7 to 8 different courses just so that I could try to, you know, mitigate the risk of becoming unemployed this year. But even that was not enough. I'm sitting here unemployed, and yeah, that is the state of South Africa. But you know what, I will go into that a little bit later. For now, I need to get ready with this makeup.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there. Cause everything reminds me of you. I can't take no more. Girl, I think I'm losing my mind. Try to go to work, but I lost track of time. Cause everyone keep looking like you. I can't take no more. I miss your touch from your hands and your body. It hurts so much to think of you as someone else. Can't get enough when you're sweet talking to me. Now I'm talking sweet all by myself. Put your arms around me, put your faith in me, put your love on me. What you need from me, need your love on me, put your love on me. I'ma do everything for you. I don't want anyone but you. Put your arms around me, put your faith in me, put your love on me. Can we stop the clock and rewind? Go back to that moment in time when you say you want me for life. Was it all a lie? I gave my all to deserve ya, begging on my knees just to show ya you're the one I want and I love ya. No, 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 no lie.
Hi guys, if you guys are joining me for the very first time, my name is Masima. I know I haven't really spoken that much in this particular vlog, but it was more of an introduction for myself back in front of the camera, and so I'm just doing this because it's the beginning of 2024. You know, there's been a lot of vision boarding, there's been a lot of sitting down and goal setting, and I hope that you guys are having a lovely 2024 so far, and that all of your life's dreams and aspirations come true this year. So this year started off a bit odd for me because I'm not actually working. So I just finished community service last year, or actually a month almost, not necessarily a month ago, it's still January, so a couple of days ago I finished community service, and for the very first time in my life, in probably 9-10 years, I don't necessarily have to be any particular place. Sorry for the change in lighting, the sun just disappeared for a moment. Yes, I don't necessarily have to be somewhere. I don't necessarily have to show up and do a particular job, because I am soon enough going to be an independent practitioner once I get my certificate back from the HPCSA. And what that basically means is that I am not obligated to work in government anymore, even though that's truly where you can actually get the most experience, especially if you want to specialize in South Africa. So it is a bittersweet moment, because on one hand, I am excited about what the future holds, and I don't really know which direction I want to go in. That's a whole conversation for another day, to be honest. Mainly because what I thought I would be doing at the beginning or in the middle of medical school and what my heart feels right now are two different things. I think that my experience in working both as an intern as well as a community service medical officer has really shown me that medicine is nothing like how I imagined, both good and bad. And so I need to be aware about the certain decisions I make that will affect me long term. So I need to think about what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of months, especially in 2024, because number one, jobs in South Africa are scarce for almost every single sector in our country, but at the same time, even more so for doctors, we don't have jobs. So when I even say that, it doesn't make sense, because what do you mean you don't have jobs? You know, there's long lines in hospitals, especially public hospitals, to see a doctor. You take about 8 hours to be seen by a doctor because of how busy and understaffed it can be. And that's just the reality of our country at the moment. So I really don't want to go into that too much, because I think we can all read the news and see what is happening. So I don't really need to go into that direction. For me at the moment, I am pretty much just resting for this month. I have been doing some job applications, and it just shows the stark difference from what I imagined would be available to me and what is actually available to me as a doctor that only studied MBCHB. I've actually had to augment my qualifications, so now I'm doing project management as well, and other short courses that might allow me to work in the corporate medicine space, because purely doctor jobs are very scarce in South Africa. There's also the option for me to think of working abroad, which is definitely an option for me. I've even started the applications for that. So for South African doctors, the easiest country to actually move to is Ireland, because we don't necessarily need to write examinations. We just need to register with the Irish Medical Council, and you'll find that a lot of doctors actually do end up moving to Ireland, because it's a much more easier medical space to penetrate, especially if you do want to specialize or you do want to go into a specific area that South Africa just does not, unfortunately, provide at the moment. There's also the UK, but you need to write examinations to enter the UK, as well as register with the General Medical Council. I'm not too sure if I'm correct, but I think that's what it's called. And yeah, it's also just not only time consuming, because it takes about 5 to 6 months for both of these registrations. You also have to factor in the cost of moving abroad. So there's quite a lot for me to think about, sit with, and meditate on. That's also partly why I have been quite MIA, is because I'm trying to figure out life. I've realized that the older you get, it doesn't necessarily mean that things just become easier. It just means that you've got a lot more things to consider that I didn't think about, I would say, maybe 3-4 years ago when I was still in medical school. Life just seemed very simple, very straightforward. I do this, A, B, and C, I get to this point, and from then on, I move on to the next one. And now it's nothing like that. I am also going to be going to the United Kingdom in May, but for a very different reason. However, I do think that will be the time that I probably just, look around, scout it out, as well as get a feel for England and see if I could potentially live there. because, as I said, I think it's best at this particular moment to really like open up my horizons and not necessarily just focus on South Africa, because things are not necessarily going the way I thought they would. So yeah, that's like a very scary thought if I think about it that way, because all my life I've had like a set plan, and sometimes life just doesn't go that way, you know. I also did consider potentially opening up my own practice or joining another practice group. That's still definitely on the table. However, opening up a practice is a lot, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the logistics behind it. But at the end of the day, opening up a practice is a business, and so every business needs clients, aka patients. So you really do need to build up your clientele. You really do need to build up the amenities that you're going to have at your practice. And I think I was reading from someone else that you need at least 300,000 rand to open up a practice, to have the sufficient amount of equipment like ultrasounds, ECG machines, all these different things. They do cost money. So it's another thing that I'd have to consider. Do I really want to go that direction and potentially lose a lot of money before I start to make some money back, which is also going to be a risk in itself? Or do I go into aesthetic medicine, which requires specific courses as well, and then potentially join in with another group of doctors? It's very confusing. Being confused is a good thing, because it means that your brain is working. It means that you're finding what works, you're finding what does not work. And initially I was just like, you know what, Maradwe, just deal with things privately, deal with things until you've got a plan, until you've got a plan for where you're going to be in the next couple of months, or what you're going to be doing in the next couple of months. But I've learned that a lot of the times just being vulnerable and being authentic to your story is what makes you more relatable and more human. Because if you just look at my Instagram, you would think, oh my goodness, like my life is perfect pictures, flowers, but at the same time I am definitely not someone that has all their ducks in a row, because life is confusing in your 20s, and that is the reality. But yeah, I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching until this part of the video. I love you so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there. 'Cause everything reminds me